Hey Libras, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. You guys have the sword, the apocalypse, the desert, Kairos, the lovers, starborn, the vessel, the self, and the mountain. Whew, and a lot of anxiety. Okay. Libras, I feel like you've been watching this end like just play itself out, right? I mean, you guys have had this end that has been in your reads for a minute now. And it's just kind of this idea of it's been a long time coming. The writing has been on the wall. It's just kind of this idea of like the apocalypse has occurred, and the apocalypse is not just one thing. The apocalypse is the domino effect of everything all at once. Like when it rains, it fucking pours. But I feel like you are kind of in this, like it's not pouring. I am in a barren wasteland, and I don't really know what's happening right now. And yet, I've been watching it happen the entire time. I feel like saying this has been an out of body experience for me. I feel like, yeah, it's that disconnect. It's that like I see it, I'm aware of it, I know it, but I don't know, like I'm here, but I'm not here. Because I want to say to be present is to have to question your own worth. And there has been so much devastation that it's left you wondering, like, where's my value in all of this? Right? Because I want to say, and this is so true, and like the common denominator in all things is you, always, right? And that's not anything that any of us enjoy having to really face, right? Like, I had to face that. I had to face my trauma and face myself. What you uncover isn't always necessarily bad, but it is always something that really needed to be exposed. It is really something like an insight or understanding that needed to be gained. And Libras, I feel like in this surreal state of watching everything come down around you and you just kind of out of body bearing witness, feeling like your potential has been chopped at the knees. I feel angry. I feel like there's a little bit of anger, a little bit of like, how dare you do this to me? Okay. Let's see what else we can get for my week. If this does resonate with you, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. Just starting over again, so any of that really, really helps me. Thanks for hanging out with me. Okay, we have the Santa Muerta, the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, it's just kind of this idea of like, if I'm going to get out of this alive, I have to do it myself this time. Like, this partnership was not going to work. This partnership drained me. And it could be a relationship, a friendship, a marriage, a partnership at work, your coworkers, your colleagues. I mean, I kind of feel like, honestly, it's a little bit of everything from everywhere. And that's part of your anger. Because as above, so below. If you have one problem in one area of your life, guarantee it shows up in every single other area right along with it. Which is why it's so important to practice discretion, to practice, like whether that's discretion on your behalf of, like things that you keep to yourself because you don't want to, like, or discretion of like the types of people that you surround yourself with. Because if you, for some of my leads, if you're a shitty person and you surround yourself with positive people, of course your karma is going to be that your world's going to come crumbling down around you. For some of my leads, if you're a good person and you surround yourself with shitty people, you are not their savior. Of course, the world is going to come crumbling down around you. Take it how it resonates. But it's just this idea of like uh, being a kind of like being outside of it, being aware of what's going on, but like also feeling like, how did this happen? And yet you knew that it was happening the entire time. It's a lot happening here. Okay, Lee. And when I looked at the timer the first time, it was 3:33. I looked at it again, it was 5:55. I feel like there's probably a lot of synchronization, even if that's synchronized ending. you know, but it's but when a lot of things end all at once, there's kind of this idea of, well, maybe that's with reason. I like trust in it. I kind of wanted to say like trust in it, because sometimes you won't make a decision unless you have to make that decision. And Libra, that was in your last read too. Just like an innate trait of a Libra is to be very indecisive. And so if you're in a situation that is not a healthy situation, whether you are the toxic one or not, that like you're not going to leave the situation unless somebody makes you do it. And I feel like there's like this, you knew it was coming, you saw the writing on the wall at the inevitable end, and yet you weren't going to be the one to do it. You were going to let them do it. But now that it's happened, I think you're starting to see things very differently, because part of your indecisiveness is if you have somebody who's willing to make the decision for you. If you have somebody who's willing to tell you this is how it is, then you don't have to be responsible for that. There's a lack of responsibility on behalf of somebody else. Somebody else is no longer responsible for your decision. And you were going to let them sway your decision because then it was their fault, not yours. Ooh, ooh. Take it how it resonates. But ultimately, I think that you or another person really decided that like the decision was best to like kind of focus on themselves and start over. Um, and I feel like maybe you were like there's a part of you that was like, yes, absolutely, I would love to start over. I wasn't going to make this decision unless you made it for me. Thank you for making this decision for me. Oh my God, I'm ready to like be free. But almost like this, you didn't even realize that you felt that way because it was such an unconscious behavior to you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. You could be on either side of the story. Okay. Leaves. So let's get a few more cards for y'all. See what else we can get here. The Knight of Swords, the Seven of Swords. I mean, the Seven of Swords is just kind of this idea of like stealing away the weapons of the enemy so that they have fewer weapons to attack you with when you go to battle the next day. I feel like there's just this idea of like you didn't realize how much time was being wasted. Like walk away from the fucking battle. Stop staying in a battle and going in and collecting weapons and trying to protect yourself and do it. Like again, it's that like what are you fighting? Like are you fighting for your own safety or are you fighting for this relationship? Because I feel like if a relationship amounts to you constantly fighting for your safety, or the other way around, if the relationship constantly amounts to another person fighting for their safety, then like, what is it that you were really holding on to in the first place? And I feel like once you really figure this out, it's like click, 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 like I get it, like, yes, let's move on. Time for me to heal myself. Okay, do one from the good prayer. That one came flying out. 8 of air, yeah. It's just this idea of like of creating clarity, and now we totally get it. Oof, that's good because that's when it sticks. Like that's one of those moments where you're like, okay, like now that I finally understand that this is a habit that I have, I can consciously address this issue within myself. Breakthroughs. I love it. Yeah, because again, it's this idea of like if you fracture yourself out, like if you really want something but you deny yourself that thing because somebody else wants something else and you're like, well, I don't really want to have to make the decision. It's easier for me to let you make the decision, but in all reality, it wasn't ever anything that I really wanted, and it just was like it was getting in the way. It was making everybody unhappy. Like there were too many. I feel like there were too many lies, but not even like deliberate lies. I feel like just like all of these, like I'm still uncovering who I am. I was talking to a lead the other day. Like I'm on my path. I'm figuring this out. Like it is what it is. And I feel like just like letting it go and like counting that one as a life lesson. I'm gonna stick that one in my back pocket, but maybe your front pocket because I feel like you're actually using it as a tool to make like emotionally intelligent decisions, which is totes my goats. Love it. Okay, leads. Well, I hope this resonates with y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe. If you're interested in booking a personal read with me, they're 45 minutes long. Gives us an opportunity to answer any questions that you have, uncover any past, present, future energies that you're wanting to explore. If this is where we part ways, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.